Friends, hello everyone. Today's episode is about the night when everything in Russia was on fire, from oil refineries to secret arsenals, and also about Magyar's literally fiery report, how he and the guys destroyed Russian equipment worth $20 billion and took out a bunch of the occupiers' manpower. That's what we're talking about today, but let's go through everything step by step, friends. To start, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and leave comments. This is very important for the channel's growth. Let's flood the comments with likes for Magyar, and let's start with what actually happened last night. Take a look at this footage. So the thing is, this is Sterlitamak, friends, a city in the Republic of Bashkortostan. Last night, local residents recorded a series of spectacular strikes, a series of very loud explosions, and the activity of their so-called air defense system. Why do I say so-called? Because they claim they shot everything down? But in reality, the flames there are so intense that it's hard to believe their claim. Thank you. What was the target? According to sources and eyewitness accounts, it was most likely the Sterlitamak petrochemical plants. People are talking, friends, about more than 6 strikes. Here's another video. I want to show it to you. So attention, friends, now pay attention. Here's why this is important. This plant is actually of strategic significance. It is a strategic facility. It is the only full-cycle enterprise in the Russian Federation that produces phenolic compounds, antioxidants. Without them, there are problems with the production of plastics, lubricants, even in cosmetics and the food industry. And also, friends, they make rubber for tires here, as well as exclusive types of fuel for small aviation. And that's what interests us the most here. It's not just, that we hit a plant and there was a little strike there. No, this is a blow to the logistical chains that supply the Russian military machine. But in reality, Sterlitamak is not the only one. Look at these flames. Now that's really burning impressively. Almost simultaneously, the Lipetsk region was burning too. Friends, more precisely, the village of Streletsky Kutori. I even made a note for myself here. That's where the Usman oil depot is located. And eyewitnesses reported explosions and a massive fire, and this is actually a facility where oil products are stored, sold, and transshipped. This Usman oil depot, friends, is a logistical hub for fuel. Just look at how it appears in this photo. Let me show you like this. Take a look at where we struck. So this is a logistical hub for fuel. And as you know, fuel is the lifeblood for tanks, for BMPs, for trucks at the front, and so on. That's why we did a good thing. And finally, the leader of this fantastic trio. I would say it's the Kostroma region. And why is that? Because there's no city nearby, right? This is where the 100th arsenal of the main missile and artillery directorate, GRAU, is located. Military Unit 55486. This is one of those giant depots, friends, where Russia stores thousands of tons of ammunition, which are then distributed to smaller warehouses and to the front lines in particular. So eyewitnesses heard explosions all night and reported evacuations. They have a governor there with the last name Sitnikov, so he tried to explain it by saying it was just falling debris, saying it's just debris falling, don't worry about it, it's from downed drones. But friends, listen. When debris falls on an arsenal, well, it usually doesn't end with just a local fire, but with a detonation, which is exactly what happened. This isn't the first attack on this plant because, by the way, there were also reports of local residents being evacuated. You understand? I mean, it's kind of strange how debris falls in such a way that they have to evacuate an entire village. But once again, in May 2025, we already hit that place once, but it wasn't enough, so we decided to do it again. But every such strike, friends, seriously reduces the artillery pressure on our defenders at the front. This is what we need to understand. And this is the goal, the objective that we are pursuing in particular. So before we move on to the 7th fire report from Manya, let's combine these 3 stories into one picture. In a single night, Ukrainian drones attacked 3 key links in the enemy's army. First, industry. We deprived them of the ability to produce critical materials. Second, fuel logistics. We deprived them of mobility. And ammunition stockpiles. We deprive them of the intensity of their fire. These are not just random strikes. This is systematic work aimed at destruction, work that exhausts the occupier's army not only at the front, but also deep in the rear. And all this is thanks to the skillful mastery of our operators, our drone pilots, our specialists who launch the drones. Because drones, in fact, friends, have already become the main driving force on the front in this war. And now, from these successful night operations, let's move on to large-scale statistics, because today we're talking about drones. The commander of the Unmanned Systems Forces, Robert Vadjabrudi, has published some super impressive results of his unit's work over the past 7 months. Please, just listen for a second. Friends, just imagine this number. Over 832,000 combat sorties. Just imagine for a second. 832,000. Over 168,000 targets hit. The estimated value of destroyed equipment is 20 billion US dollars. Personnel, 50,238 occupiers. Eliminated. Equipment, 532 tanks, 7,697 vehicles, 5,548 pieces of motorized equipment. Artillery, how many have been taken out, friends? About 2,500 cannons and howitzers. Targets deep inside the Russian Federation, more than 350. It is thanks to them that additional losses of about $3 billion per month have been inflicted. It's important to understand that every strike is verified. These are not made-up stories, they are verified in the system. Delta Situational Awareness. It's an electronic system where everything is recorded, friends, analyzed, and confirmed. So these are real confirmed losses of the enemy. But what do these numbers actually mean in practice? The super cool military analyst Vasil Pikno, whom I respect greatly, provided his excellent analysis. The main point: drones have become the dominant force on the battlefield. Let's compare. He writes that the monthly losses of the Russian army, not only from Ukrainian drones, but all drones, not just FPV, in December, friends, amounted to about 33,000 personnel. And now the question is, how many can the enemy mobilize and recruit each month? Various experts mention roughly the same number, 35 to 33,000 occupiers. Even Medvedev, the drunk, also said that they conscript 30 to 35,000. Do you see the connection? Our defenders are working to zero. They are destroying almost the entire monthly influx of enemy manpower, of the enemy. And listen, this is only what has been clearly confirmed in the Delta system, as you understand. The actual losses are probably even higher. Magyar previously spoke about the goal of raising this figure to 50 to 60,000 per month. If this succeeds, we will move from working to zero. To what? To systematically reducing Russia's human resources. And this means that the occupiers' army will not only stagnate, but will also inevitably shrink. Yes, friends, Russians, and here it should be mentioned that they have also created their own drone forces and will obviously continue to develop them, but there is a key difference. Because their tactic is infantry assaults. Our tactic is defense and attrition. More drones on our side means fewer chances for their infantry. We have the advantage, and we are preparing for this. The large-scale recruitment for the UAV forces, which started back in the fall, aims to enlist 15,000 new operators. This is systematic work for the future, but there are also challenges. So we need to work more actively, specifically against enemy drone operators. And this is the next logical task. So in the end, what do we have? First, the night showed that Ukraine can deliver precise, painful strikes across the entire chain of military infrastructure of the enemy. From factories and fuel to arsenals, these are absolutely outstanding results. Second, the statistics of the drone forces under the command of Magyar are proof of the effectiveness of the Ukrainian strategy. $20 billion in losses in 7 months. Friends, this isn't about repelling attacks, it's about actively destroying the occupier's army with the most massive and effective weapon available today. Third, this is a strategic goal. It is already clear, to exhaust the Russian army to the point where it not only stops, but actually begins to fall apart. Rapidly losing its resources, we are already destroying almost all of its so-called monthly conscripts. The next step is to surpass that number. This war has changed. It is fought not only in the trenches, friends, but also in the numbers of statistics. Yes, in drone production, in training thousands of operators, and today's successes give us reason to believe that we are on the right path. I'm not afraid to say it, on the path to victory. Friends, thank you. Please stay on this channel, subscribe to it, subscribe more actively, take care of yourselves, and please give some likes to Magyar, to all the guys, to all the representatives of Ukraine's defense forces. This is super important. Well, the results are simply fantastic. Take care. See you soon.